Okay, so I'm going to test Beat Saber played on a chair. This is pretty active stuff, but I think can be done on a chair. I just want to try it out of curiosity, see how it goes. And I already know that Audica works on a chair really well. Sprint Vector might be more um, challenging perhaps. So I'm gonna try those three: Beat Saber, Audica, and Sprint Vector. See how it goes. I want to do this video because I don't see anyone. I don't see any video of playing actually, really active beer games like sitting down on a chair. Obviously, I also play them standing up, but I think it will be very useful for a lot of people to see what works on the chair. There are many that don't work, so these, in my opinion, are the ones that work. But there's a little workaround in some of them. Like here in Beat Saber, you have to change the height. I'm gonna show you. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to go back and change the height so that it works. In Sprint Vector, you probably have to, when you calibrate, you need to keep the height in mind as well. In Audica, there's probably a little bit of a workaround, but not much. Audica works. It just works because it's shooting. Okay, so let's begin. Let's see. I'm gonna do three zones here: hard, expert, expert plus. Let's put myself at the right place. Okay, let's see if it works. If the height is too high or too low, you're gonna have to change it. It can work like this. I'm gonna do this one like this, and then I'm gonna change the height. The next one. Okay, so we need the blocks a little bit higher up to make this more comfortable here with the movement of the hands and the lower part of the chair. So we're gonna go here to the settings, and we want to make it, make us basically shorter. Okay, so that should work. So I made the height from the floor a little bit shorter. So that will put the blocks a little bit higher. Okay, so since it should be more comfortable now with the blocks a little bit higher, I'm going to try something in expert then. Okay, fitness zone is a little bit. Oh no, I have to change it. You see? The other higher, so let's change it. That's good. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so I think I'm ready to begin sweating pretty much. Okay, so something I need to point out here. Obviously, it is a lot harder sitting down, so you shouldn't begin playing in expert or anything like that. I actually have a lot of experience playing this. I have it right now. I've had it for 4 years, so obviously I'm not new at this at all. I'm tired of playing Beat Saber. So, if you're new, it wouldn't make any sense to play this seated down or standing up or any way you want in expert. You should begin in something easier than that. Something else I noticed, obviously if you're playing on a chair, I'm not saying it is impossible. I mean, if you're extremely good, you can do it. I cannot do it, but it's double S ranks and very high scores and all that. You should probably forget about that if you're playing on a chair. Like maybe you should even turn on the modifier that removes the walls from the level, so that you don't have to be docking the walls on the chair, going like that. Or maybe if you're someone, the people out on a wheelchair or something like that, you cannot do that. You cannot dock walls like that, dodge them on the chair. So obviously you want to use that modifier so that it removes all the walls, and then it will make it playable for you. So you use the height and you remove that, and obviously you play in a difficulty that the speed is good for you. I can play in expert even seated down, or it doesn't matter how I'm doing it, because I've been playing expert for too long. So it's just something natural for me. But yes, the main thing here is that this works on a chair. You can play Beat Saber on a chair. I would even argue that you can use it as a workout. Like if I do this for 1 hour, you're gonna end up soaked in sweat. And yeah, so I'm gonna play one more. Just not to show off or to brag or anything, but just out of curiosity, I'm gonna play one in Expert Plus. I'm pretty sure I can finish it, but if I get an S rank, that will be like a very good run for me. I don't think I can do much better than that on the chair. But it can be done. It is playable. And then after that, we're gonna go to Audica. I'm going to do in Audica the same thing I did here in Beat Saber. I'm gonna play a few songs. I think Audica is the one that fits best to play it on a chair. It's definitely the most comfortable one. You don't have to mess around with the height or anything like that, because you can just shoot up. You don't have to be higher or lower yourself to be able to cut the cube, because you're not cutting cubes, you're shooting targets. So the height is not so crucial there. Okay, let's finish with Saber and then I'm gonna move on to Audica. Okay, so let's do see if I can finish this one on the freaking chair. I think it's doable. I mean, if you have training, I think it's doable. Let's see. that's good enough for Beat Saber. So let's check out the second one, which is Audica. Obviously, if you play a lot of that, with all the cooling of cubes and all that, you end up also being sweat, which is completely natural because it's pretty active. It's almost like it's not like jogging. Jogging is a lot better than this, but it's kind of like it's pretty close to jogging basically. But if you do it on the chair, you're even standing, sitting on a chair. I also play it standing better. I like to mix it up. Sometimes sitting, sometimes standing. Depends on how I feel that day. Okay, so here in Audica, you might need to play around with the calibration settings here, especially in the expert mode. As you can see, my calibration settings are not all zeros. I actually changed this around a little bit. Gun pitch is how high or low the gun is. The input offset, I actually changed it to be able to, to play comfortably. Take a solo. Okay, just to show, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I should do not just in advanced and expert. Maybe I should do one in normal. But if you want this for exercising, it has to be at least advanced, I guess. Okay, let's go for advanced then. think that for a beginner this might be too much. For a beginner you need something easier than this. You need something, like normal, basically. Audica is a lot harder than Beat Saber, so obviously if you're a beginner, you should just begin in easy and normal. Advanced in Audica, I think it's the best one probably, but you're just not ready for that. I mean, like right now, I haven't played it much lately, and didn't finish the song in advance with 5 stars. You could argue maybe it's because of the height, since I'm sitting on a chair, and I usually play that one standing up. But still, it's a difficult game, definitely. But it is the best one if you're on a chair. If you're seated, I don't think that there's any other option in VR that is better than Audica. If you want something active on a chair, it's the best one in my opinion. Unless you're willing to do Beat Saber and get over the fact that you have the chair in the middle. Beat Saber is obviously easier to play standing up, but it is still doable. So maybe I'm gonna do one in normal to show what it looks like. Then I'm gonna do one in expert, and then we're gonna go to sprint vector, which is the last one. It's the one that is the most intense in my opinion. It's like a running workout, and it might be more challenging on a chair, but I know it is doable, so I want to show it. I want to show that it can be done. And if you learn how to play it, if you learn the controls, it's a good choice. If you want very active VR on a chair, seated down, without being standing up. Okay, so let's do the song in normal, in Audica, and then one in expert, just to show how crazy this gets, and the fact that it is fully playable on a chair. Like you have to be standing up to be able to shoot and play this, which is not the case for many of them. On shape is not playable unless you're standing up. You can think of workarounds and stuff, but it's too much. I think there are others that they just don't work. Like Creed, the boxing one, I think trying to do it on a chair, it's not impossible, but it's just not the same. So yeah, these are the ones that work in my opinion. Beat Saber, Audica, and sprint vector. So let's do some of this. Let's do normal. So let's do I might do this one in expert. Okay, let's do this in small. Standard. By the way, just so you know, the leaderboards and all that, the online connection doesn't work in this one anymore. It used to work wonderfully. I don't know what happened, it doesn't work now. But that's, for me that's not a problem. Some people might not like it because it doesn't have leaderboards, and I understand that because I used to be someone that liked seeing the leaderboards and where I was placed in the leaderboard and all that. But I just play for fun now. I don't really need to have the leaderboard there. Okay, so this is normal. So this is gonna be a little easy. Okay, so we saw that in normal. Let's see the same thing in expert. Honestly, this felt kind of slow for me because I'm already used to playing this in advanced and in expert, so the normal mode feels not just easy, but it feels slow. Obviously, for active purposes, like a cardio activity, like an exercise, you want to sweat, the advanced mode is the best one. Expert can obviously work too because that's a crazy difficulty, but it's probably too much for someone that is beginning. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some time before a new player of Audica can crack the expert mode, which is pretty difficult. And yeah, let's look at the same song. So we have the same song in normal. Let's play the same song in expert, just to show the crazy change there. I need to put in pause. Okay, so let's. Okay, let's just take this off. As you can see, there is a completely different animal if you play on expert. Expert on Audica is, once you get good enough to crack it and crack the difficulty, it is great, but it's really too much when you're beginning. However, you have advanced, so you can, little by little work up the reflexes to do advance. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do just one more, and then I call it a day with Audica, and then we're gonna do sprint vector. Okay, let's go. Let's do I think something is very clear from this. I'm about to begin sweating, and I am sitting on a chair, so that's the whole idea of the video. Which are the active VR games that work as an active cardio activity on a chair? I always thought that this was an interesting topic because many people can benefit from it. That's the reason why I'm posting this video, by the way. This is not about views or anything like that. I just want to post this because I think that it is a useful video for many people that maybe they can only play sitting down or something like that. Yeah, it will be good for them, I guess. Especially if you already have this. If you already have this, just go for it. I think these are among the very few where you can really get the same workout standing up as sitting down on a chair. Most of them you get a better workout, like O-shape for example. O-shape, first of all, you cannot play O-shape on a chair. You have to be standing up. But you get, even if you could play on a chair, you will get a much better workout doing it, moving around when you're standing. These two, Saber and Audica, I think that Sprint Vector 2, you're gonna see it right now, which is the one I'm gonna show next. But yeah, Audica especially. If you can play Audica in Expert, even if you're on a chair, it is, but it is very difficult, so don't expect to do it right away. So I'm gonna play one more in Expert. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick any song that sounds good. And then we're going to Sprint Vector. This. Okay, let's go for this one. This can be difficult. Let's see if I can finish it. Something that I like about this is that you cannot fake skill in Audica. Like in Audica, I didn't remember this song. You could argue that I'm pretty good at this game because I, already finished all of it, like 100% all that. But I didn't remember this song. I haven't played it, a long time, months maybe. And because I didn't remember it, I couldn't even get the 5 stars. Which shows, how hard this expert mode is. Someone who is already pretty good at it, but who didn't remember the song, enter the expert level song. Obviously, I could finish it, but not with a very high score or anything like that. Not without a ton of misses and all that. So it's one where the difficulty is pretty. It's still fun. You can see that it was fun to go through that level, but the difficulty is serious. Like you are either super good at the game or you just memorize the level. It's one of the two. There are no in betweens. That's expert mode though. In the advanced is more reasonable. Like you don't have to be so hardcore to be able to basically take over the advanced mode and enjoy it. But yeah, this is my pick for best active VR activity or game when you're seated on a chair. This is my number 1. Number 2, I don't know which one to pick between Beat Saber and Sprint Vector. So let's take a look at Sprint Vector. So you will see why I like it. You have to be more careful with Sprint Vector about not punching the chair or your own legs, basically. So you might have to calibrate it. Instead of doing the calibration where you're like this, you might have to, on purpose, do the calibration where you have your hand like a little diagonal, a little bit up, and not completely down. Because if you do it completely down, you might not realize it and you go like that on your feet or on the chair. If you're doing this standing up, it doesn't matter because you're Sprint Vector is trying to simulate running, basically. It's trying to simulate inline skating, where you go like this. So yeah, let me just show you, because words don't work with this stuff. You have to either see it or try it yourself. Obviously, that would be the best one. But you can still get an idea from seeing it. And seeing someone, like I'm doing right now, seeing someone doing it, I think it's so much better than seeing a video of gameplay, because in a video gameplay, even for Audica or Beat Saber, you don't see what the guy is doing. You don't see what the player is doing. When you see what the player is doing, it makes more sense. You know what to expect. So I like it a lot more like that. But I don't do all my videos like this because I don't have sometimes I simply cannot just take the whole place as a recording studio for myself. That's not always a choice, so I cannot do that every time. I can do it sometimes, maybe 2-3 times a week, maybe. Let's just, that's good enough for Audica. So we're gonna see Sprint Vector. Sprint Vector is, in my opinion, the best one for exercising, for an active activity. It's not the ideal one on a chair. The ideal one on a chair is Audica, but Audica is really hard. So I think that maybe some people, because of the difficulty in Audica, might still prefer Beat Saber and Sprint Vector. Okay, so where's Sprint Vector? Okay, here it is. Okay, so in Sprint Vector, it works best, like if you're someone who is like on a wheelchair or something like that, obviously you cannot do this. But if that is not your case, and if you can do that, go a little bit towards the edge of the seat because it's gonna make it easier to go like this. If you're all the way, on the back of the seat, you're gonna be limited when you do this. So if you want to remove that limit, just go a little bit closer to the edge of the seat, like half the seat, something like that. Now I'm still sitting down here, but I'm not, like all the way in the back of the seat. Okay, so here's the calibration. So in the calibration, I'm not gonna go with my hand completely straight. I'm gonna, on purpose, lift my hand a little bit, like on a 45-degree angle, something like that. Because since I'm not standing up, that's as far as I will be able to go. This is one of my favorites right now. And I do play standing up, but I just realized that it works. It works on the chair too. Okay, so this is the practice arena. So practice arena. Okay, enough practice, let's go. Let's go and do a race. Okay, the first stage, Winter Rush. Okay, so I'm not facing forward. Let's put it into watch. All right. Okay, so press options to center it. cool. Let's do this one. This part, as always, been extremely annoying. It's gonna make me spawn again. think it's pretty obvious that you can even use the practice stage sort of like a cardio activity, though it is obviously more entertaining if you play a race. But you can go in the practice stage and just, you know, go like this through the obstacles and just became kind of like simulating running around. You can do it the other way. Do the other way. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's a good enough coverage for the active beer games that can be played on a chair without, you know, big difficulties or just having to sacrifice too much from the gameplay to be able to enjoy like that. I think it's good to make a video like this so that the people anyone who gets this stuff and who doesn't know about this is on PSVR 1, by the way. I'm playing this right now. I'm playing this with a PS4 Slim, the Slim one, it's not even the Pro, and a PSVR 1. So this is not a PS5 or a PSVR 2 or you know, one of the expensive headsets on PC. This is actually a PSVR 1 with a PS4 Slim, and it works perfectly. Obviously there might be like a couple games like No Man's Sky where they look a little better on the PS5 and that sort of thing, but and by the way, you can play this with a PS5 as well. It doesn't have to be a PS4. I think the PS5 only needs yeah, I don't play on the PS5. I play VR1 on PS4 and the VR2, which I also have on PS5. But if you only have a PS5, you can get a PSVR 1 and play this stuff in the PS5. I think you only need like one additional cable. It's not a cable, it's kind of like something you connect there, like you know, if you look it up, like how to play PSVR 1 on PS5, that's gonna come up like in the one of the first things you're gonna find out is that you need a special connector or adapter. That's the right word, adapter, to be able to play there. I don't use it because I use the PS4 itself. And I think this is good enough for, you know, the video I wanted to do showing the best, in my opinion, the best active beer games to play on a chair while sitting down. I think I might, so I did this video really for the subset of people that might benefit from it. I haven't seen any other video like this in YouTube online, but I think I'm also going to do probably one standing up, especially for Sprint Vector and Audica. Sprint Vector and Audica, yeah, those two are good enough to make a video standing up. Especially Sprint Vector. There's a lot of movement in Sprint Vector. And I think that's why at the beginning many people are gonna quit, because it's kind of like difficult to get used to the controllers and to the way You know, they have different buttons that you have to press to be able to turn and all that. But after you learn the right buttons and how to use it, it's, in my opinion, it is the best one for cardio. Standing up, I think it's better than Creed standing up, right? It is more fun too, in my opinion. On a chair, however, I think it's also pretty good on a chair. Like if you saw me here, it going like that. If you do that for half an hour, you can sweat. Obviously, none of these can replace getting a set of weights and doing weight training, which you can do on a chair too. None of these is going to replace, if you can run perfectly on a running track. Running on a running track is better than playing the video games, obviously. But it's a nice alternative to have here, like where you live, at home, at your apartment. It's nice to have the alternative of, if you cannot go to a running track, or if you don't have a treadmill, you can turn this on and do something that is kind of like an equivalent. It's not completely, it's kind of like 80% as much, not 100%, but it is something. So it's good to have it. That's it. So yeah, that's it. This is the video I wanted to do for the sitting down on a chair with the VR stuff. That's it. Hopefully you can get some tips from this, something you liked.